Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton forged pendant called the Olympus Vertical, and this is going to be the 131606. So if you're familiar with the Olympus collection, it is comprised of its fixtures that are using these hand-hammered, hand-forged rings that are all kind of welded together. Beautiful, beautiful sculpture. Also using this glass, which I think is great, these orbs of glass, Hubbardton forges opal. I'll get into that in a sec. So let's talk about the size of the fixture body itself. And when we talk about the fixture body, that's going to be independent of what it's hanging from, which is this telescoping rod. So we know that the size of the fixture is 36.5 inches tall, 13.9 inches in diameter. A lot of you guys are going to be using this in places where you use vertical things, mostly stairways and things like that. You could use a series of these over a kitchen island. I think that'd be pretty cool. You'd obviously need the ceiling height to carry it off because it's a tall fixture. So let's get into what it's hanging from. If you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on this telescoping rod idea. This telescoping piece telescopes into this big, so a smaller rod into bigger rod. Where they come together is called a clutch, and there's a little tiny set screw hiding right there. During your installation, you're going to be able to bring this up and down to get it exactly where you want it to go. When you're ready, you're going to tighten with this little tiny wrench that's going to come with it. You're going to tighten that little tiny screw. You can barely see it. It's going to lock it into place, so it's good to go. Always leave a little extra wire up in the canopy if you can, just in case you ever want to bring it down or move it to another place where you have taller ceilings, okay? So let's get into the adjustable ranges. The first one's actually going to be a fixed. It's not adjustable, 39.6 inches. And now we're talking about overall height, distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself. So we're not talking about parts right now, the whole thing. So the first, it's going to start off at 39.6, that's our fixed. The standard in the middle is actually going to be a range, and that's going to be 43.9 to 47. Again, bottom of fixture to ceiling. After that, we've got long, which is 49.1 to 56.6. If you need this to be shorter than the short, so remember the fixture body itself is 36.5. This is like 1.5 inches. So I can't go dramatically shorter than my 39.6, maybe a little bit. I can definitely go longer than the long. So if you need those kind of things, just email me and say, I'm looking at the 131606 and I need it to be this long, from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. I'm going to take your email. It's going to go through Hubbardton Forge's customs department and come back to me, and we'll quote it out for you. It adds a little time and money, but we do customs every day because these things are all made as the orders come in. So it's not a big deal. Excuse me. So canopy up in the ceiling, 5-inch round canopy. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box. To show you more information about that, let's look at the installations instructions. If you're on the page for this on HandmadeInVermont.com, look over on this side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. Great information there. Not only a full parts list and how this all goes together, but also some great detailed drawings about the whole thing, kind of like this inside look at it. So take advantage of that. It's going to be hanging from a 4-inch junction box, coming in at only 9 pounds, so there's no problem with any kind of weight restriction. Easy to go. So has also at the top has a knuckle right here. So it's also slope ceiling adaptable if you guys need it to be on the slope ceiling. 45 degrees, we have you completely covered, so it's automatic. You don't have to order any special parts. Easy breezy. And then let's get into also glass on this, and I'll get more into detail on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, but it's going to be using these hand-blown orbs that are absolutely beautiful. You're not going to be able to see the bulb. They're completely opaque. Okay, and now what's inside of those orbs, you've got 4 what are called G9 sockets, and these are sockets that use the little prong things that just plug right in, just like that. It's going to be shipping with 4 40-watt halogens. That's going to be the max for a halogen bulb because of the heat generated by the bulb. And remember, you never use your hands to touch a halogen bulb, because halogen bulbs don't like to be touched. They don't like the oils off of your hands. It diminishes the life of the bulb. If you guys want to go LED, which I think you should, you could use these just for a while. Might as well use them up because they're going to come with it. And they dim beautifully, just FYI. It's a dimmable fixture. You can go LED to your heart's content. So I've talked about these LEDs before. If you go on the internet and you just put in G9 LED, you'll see all of these guys pop up, and they'll be on Amazon and a bunch of other websites. Even at Home Depot sells them at this point. So this is a phosphorus one, this guy right here. So you can see the orange pad that's inside of that. They're called corn cob. Well, they're called cob. So they look like corn cobs basically, and have tons of these little pads inside, and then on the ends too. I think these guys last longer than these, just FYI, because I use these all over our showroom. But I tend to like these because I can also usually find these in a higher light equivalent. So I think this is probably a 75 watt equivalent, and this is it's either a 40 or a 60 watt equivalent, one of the two. This has a bit of a frosted diffuser on it. This one's clear. So since we have an opaque piece of glass, we don't have to worry about looking at the bulb or any kind of glare, so you're fine with that. You can also choose the color of your light, and I talk about that all the time. So the light coming down on my hands, this is from light bulbs, and these are LEDs that are 3000 Kelvin. So that's considered warm white, which I absolutely love. Some of you guys out there are going to be liking that cooler daylight that's on the bluer side. But when you guys go buy your bulbs, it doesn't matter if you're online or if you're in a store, you'll see charts all over the place. So the chart is always going to show you what that bulb is. So if you want the warmer white, go for the 3000 Kelvin. That's going to be down here, kind of in the red zone there. If you like the cooler daylight, that's going to be 4000, 5000, 6000 Kelvin, way up here on this side. There's no right or wrong answer. It's really just what you guys prefer. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the ends. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.